Because, I mean, you issued a statement as well and tweets about that particular scenario. Have you seen the report?
No, it was not intended for me, so I could not have seen it.
Because a lot of people are really concerned now, saying that, like one of the APC senators, Shehu, did say that this administration is fighting corruption for the APC people with deodorants and using insecticides to fight the opposition. This would seem to be a classic example. How would you respond to the PDP, who are claiming that perhaps this is one example that will clarify and substantiate their claims that the APC is fighting corruption using deodorants for the APC people and insecticides for the PDP?
Now, let me say that I'm sure in the last 24 hours, Senator Shehu will have reconsidered that position. My sense is that if you ask him again, that statement you just aired before this broadcast, you know, goes back several months. And I have a sense that all of the things that happened in the last 24 hours have changed that. So you would give him the chance, perhaps let him say his opinion all over again. For the PDP, they just can't get anything right. I think that their problem is that you can see from some of them that there's a fondness for publicity. They just want to speak so that they grab the headlines, not that it makes meaning. And you just pity some of the things that they do.
You know, but part of the whole scenario, when we look at this, and if we could also juxtapose it with their complaint, lots of questions about the processes. Now we've seen certain actions taken which people say, well, it's incomplete, it doesn't absolve them of the crime, that's why they want to see what exactly does the report say. Is it just a recommendation for them to be sacked? Is that it? That's why they're asking for that. But are we really doing something about institutionalizing the fight against corruption? Because it does appear as though it's just about persons. What happens to the processes that are being abused? What is being done to correct those processes? Well,
let me say that, and I appreciate your concern over these matters. You know, 3-4 days ago, the president met a group, and he was expressing this concern that when he came in, you know, he thought that the rot was at the top. And the thing was just remove the top, and then everything goes. But he realizing that the thing goes all the way down, and that's really the work of the fight against corruption, is far more challenging than most people think. But I think that there are also structural, changes that are going on in the country that will have the effect of changing a lot of these things. For instance, this is a government that has put into use the TSA, by which the government would look at one big screen like this, where all of the revenues of government are visible, or the eyepiece, by which everyone who earns government salary is documented and computerized, and arising from which billions upon billions of naira is being saved from payroll. So yes, institutionalization is going on, and in terms of the change of character of individuals and mind, you can see that the EFCC, for instance, is also engaged not only in grabbing people and taking them to court. There's an aspect of socialization that is going on, talking to children, youth groups, and political leaders and all of that. So all of these efforts are coming together, and I believe that in due course, it will take time, but the job will be done with the kind of efforts that have been put into it.
And speaking about this, there are those who also say they think that everyone in the government are not pulling in the same direction with the president. The reason why they say this is because they say, take for instance, look at the case against me now. Look at the people who have been named and mentioned involved in him coming back. They wonder, should that ever even happen before the press eventually blew the whistle? They look at those who have been named in this particular case. And then even security, they say, suggest that they are not all on the same page. Do you get a sense that everyone in government is not exactly pulling in the same direction with Mr. President in the fight against corruption?
Well, let me tell you, Chamberlain, if the government is going to sack or to lock up just anyone who gets a mention in the press concerning, in corruption or pulling in the opposite direction of the president, I don't think this country has enough prisons to put everywhere. In fact, there won't be enough people to run the government. There won't be enough people in the National Assembly, because this is a country that thrives in a very vibrant and uncontrolled media. And so therefore, and some of these things clearly have a way of, crossing the lines. And so the allegations are there against everybody. Everyone has this. So I think that what the president has done is he has asked for reports to be given to him. He got the initial reports, but one thing again leading to another. And you can see that this, the minor thing is expanding beyond the borders of this country. So therefore, give it time, the thing will be complete, and that the president will be out of the position on what is to be done. Those people who have been mentioned, senior officials of government, are they guilty or not? They cannot be prejudged. We must allow them to be heard by the president, who will determine their own fate.